Just give us a player's sort of viewpoint on last week.
Well, I think most people can imagine what it's been like this week and what the reaction was like after the game. It was quite a big build up. Obviously, you have your full pre-season, then you're excited to get out in the first game, and for some reason it just didn't happen for us. I actually think the scoreline flattered us in the end because they come back in the second half. The game was gone, but this week we've got to front up. We've got to come with our brave faces on, and because there's no more difficult opponent in the league, is there, than the world champions. So it's a big week for us. We've got we've got to show what we're made of, really.
Have you been able to put your finger on what didn't quite happen in the first half?
Yeah, a few things, but obviously I don't want to give away too many tactical points, or if there's anyone from St Helens watching, I don't want to give away what they could probably see what we need to put right, and I think a lot of people could see what we need to put right as well. So it's quite evident, and it is an easy fix. It is an easy fix, but getting out there and doing it is a different thing.
At the same time, how much heart do you take from the fact that showing in the second half, when you were down and out, you were just so fluid, so destructive?
Me personally, no, I don't take no art from that whatsoever. I think the game was gone. The game was gone in the first half, and I think it's quite easy to mount a fight back when the pressure's off and you're able to throw the ball about and have a crack because the game's gone. It's hard at the start of the game when you need to have a crack in you and the score's 0-0. So I wouldn't say I'd take too much out from that. No.
So I don't know whether you watched the World Club Challenge or not, but you've probably seen bits since in preview. How impressed have you been, or were you with Saints' performance?
I did. We actually watched it. We actually watched it at the ground. We obviously, I think everyone that day was a neutral, regardless whether St Helens are our rivals or not. We was cheering them on to win, and I've got a couple of really good friends in that team. So, this isn't meant to sound derogatory at all, but I wasn't impressed because I know how good St Helens are, and there was a lot. I was having jibes with Kenny Edwards all week, who was saying that they get beat by 40, and I was saying just watch. They're everyone's writing them off, and I know that there's some players in that side who are world beaters, and I wasn't actually surprised by anything that they did. I expected it to be close. But yeah, there was by far the better team, and I think they've done Super League and English Rugby League a big justice.
Did you have any money on it with Kenny?
No, mate, we're not allowed to gamble on games. So, no money. No.
What about a coffee?
Yeah, a coffee. I suppose that'd still be gambling, though, wouldn't it? But no.
Sportsman's bet.
Yeah, we're just going back and forth. I was giving it him, and he was giving it me, and then he come up with the excuses the next day that there was more Penrith weren't taking it serious and all that. So yeah, typical Aussies.
Whinging Aussie. What is it from your point of view? What is it that makes Saints such a special team as they have been over the last few years?
It's probably the work ethic, and they've had. I think they've got a core of the team that have all come through together, and they've sort of stuck by their own and put faith in the younger kids when they've come in, and they've come in and done well. So I think it's probably that. And at St Helens, there's obviously I know from being there, there's a deep rooted sort of work ethic there that players like Paul Wellens and a few Kieran Cunningham, people like that have passed on, and it's breathing through them lads now.
Is there any suggestion that they might still be in party mode come Sunday?
I don't know. We're not thinking about that. I know I'm personally not thinking about that. I've not spoke to any of their players due to the fact that we can't go into the game worrying about what they've been doing and whether they might turn up or they might, they might be jet lagged and stuff like that. We've got to take that fully out of the equation. So I've purposely not spoke to any of them lads to know what they've done after the game. This week we've got to focus on. We need to turn up, obviously, because we didn't turn up last week.
And given it's your first game at home, how sort of eager will you be to sort of start as you mean to go on there?
Yeah, well, we have to, don't we? I think I was speaking to Mark Grattan, then he said there's going to be a big crowd here, so there's no better start. Obviously, Sunday afternoon at well, it's Mendo's Jungle now in it, but Weldon Road, it's a great place to play. And yeah, we need to get off to a good start at home, because I know that obviously last year we didn't get off to a good start, and ever since I've been at this club, actually, we've not really played too well at home. So I think it's about time that we flip that on its head and start playing well in front of our own fans.
And just personally, JT, given the season you had or endured last year, where do you feel you are? Are you looking at this one as being the big swan song, or are you looking further beyond that? I don't want to write you off or anything like that, because you're still in remarkable nick, my friend.
I know you, so just say what you're trying to say. You're getting old now. Is it time to retire? No, I'm not thinking about that. My first thoughts was I obviously spent a lot of time out of the game last year. It was not far off 12 months. So, but my plan was always to come back, and this year was to see where I'm at. Body's still feeling good. My shoulders feel good now, so I've got no plans to retire soon. I obviously know that my career is not going to go on forever, and there will come a point in the not too distant future when I will be retiring, but I don't see it being within the next 12 months.
Just on last week, how frustrated were the group that, you know, you put all that effort in pre-season, realistically with the aim of playing decent in your first game, and then you ultimately didn't. It must sting a bit when that happens.
Yeah, it does. It stings very bad. It was all shell shocked, to be honest with you. We really didn't see that coming. I know all the same old cliches, but we'd had a good build up during the week, and there wasn't too many signs that was going to happen to us. So yeah, it was shell shocking, but these things happen. That's the game, and it's all about how you bounce back and what your reaction is. So this week's, as like I said before, it's a big week for us.
Is it a good time or a bad time to play them? And what I mean by that is, yeah, they've had this long trip, not the ideal recovery and prep. But the flip side, there's also then the expectation, Cash should, best time to play him, Cash should win this, It seems like it's sort of 6 and 1 after the other almost.
Yeah, well, we've totally took that out of the equation this week. Obviously, with what happened last week, we can't be focusing on anything that the opposition are going to do. I think it was, for us, really, we could have been playing anyone this week. It could have been any team in the league, but we've still got the same focus of what we need to put right from last week. There's been no discussion of what St Helens are doing or how they've recovered from their trip. That'd be a bad way to go into the game.